All right, loans is always a ball buster sometimes for people, isn't it? But as I said, I can send this all to you in PDF. Vision and find your home. As I said earlier, we sat down January 4th a couple of years ago, visioned our property. 20 days later, I found it. 2 months later, we owned it. So this is sort of a lot of, this is our property, and you know, ideas we had. We all did one of these. We all did one, and then at the end, we came together, and you know, we got temple and food forest and kids areas, teepees. So the opportunity for you to vision your personal property, gather your clan together, write out your dreams and dream big. I run into a lot of people who dream way small. They're like, this way. I was like, why? Like, what do you really want right now? Like, oh, I really want privacy. I really want 10 plus acres, no neighbors. I want creeks. I want all this. I want trees and shade. I'm like, go ahead and dream that, and then if you can't have it in the future, work back, but you're going to short yourself if you don't try, if you don't start there. Ensure your visions are in alignment. You know, make sure you're all on the same page, that you don't have some people that are, you know, you may be friends with them and social and have Thanksgiving with these people, but when you end up really asking, what do you want to do with your time, you know, you may, the example I'll try not to use because I'm on camera right now. I'll go ahead and use it. I don't know if you have any friends. I just said I wouldn't, and then I would. I don't know if you have any friends who do film. Maybe, you know, someone may be creating porn as a, you know, for a living, and the other person wants to start a Waldorf school. But they're friends. They're in our community. They're artists. You know, this is what they do for a life and a living. But you know, you may not know until you actually get into it. What do you want to do? It's like, oh, I'm so stoked. We got the hot tub in the pool, and I'm going to film some porn here. And the Waldorf teacher was like, I wanted to do a school, and I'm not sure it's conducive to having the two on the same property. And maybe it is. I'm not going to say that example is. But in our situation, I have a gun, I have a pistol, and one of our members didn't want anything to do with guns, even though her husband had 7 guns in storage. And we worked through the process and was like, okay. And it's like, no, that's a hard line for me. And going through a few meetings and saying, like, you know, giving her the pistol and like, what are you worried about my kids using it? I was like, go ahead, rock the slide back, put a round in there, and like, she's like, I can't even move it. I can't do anything. I can't make it work. I was like, and it's in a safe. Here's my safe. You know, I have the combo, and I'm qualified to use it. I'm you know, an expert in using it, and it's safer process to have someone on the land who can use it. And through that process, we're like, okay, I guess we can work together. So make sure your vision is in alignment, so 2 years later, you're not in the situation where you thought you could do something and you can't. Don't overplan, leave room to grow. If you have ever built a business plan, like, this is it, and this is what we're doing, and the other people coming into your vision, it's like, I don't see myself fitting, and it's really not gonna be like that. 3, 4, 10 years down the road, you know, you can leave yourself some room to whatever you're going to grow into. And trust. Trust is the biggest lesson that I've learned in this community, which is just, you know, there's some times that I go into a meeting and I'm really adamant, I really want something, and if everybody there hears me, but I don't get my way, and I really feel it's important, I trust that the bigger vision is that with 10 of us there, we're going to build much better and more beautiful things, and we're all trying to do this together. And that's the truth. We just had a wedding. You know, and I'm not going to be able to, one person, if I own that land, do this whole wedding and have all this amazing thing and artists come out and perform, and this would never happen. But because I just release some of the things I want and trust that the bigger vision is going to be much greater, there's so much more that I'm getting out of it. A vision exercise, you guys can do. This is actually from our vision. This is what we did. Sit with your group, write your desires on Post-it notes. Pool. I need plumbing, I need an office, you know, I need a fridge, I want a kitchen in my house, I want my toilet in the house, you know. When you actually get into it, if you don't ask, you might not get it. No repeats or do repeat. If you got 7 people who want a hot tub, maybe you know, like, oh, there's 7 Post-its with a hot tub, this is a really big one. Organizing in categories like, you know, healing things, infrastructure, business, and see where you differ and you're similar. Some of the things that we wrote down, stream or a lake, trees, galactic megaphone, an art barn, office, space for elders, zip line, a home, secret passages, mini cow. Someone wants a mini cow. You know, and the great thing about this exercise was that 10 people sat together and wrote all this down. And then for myself, because I do the real estate side, I went through, and 20 days later, I was actually able to like, okay, well, we want running water on the property. Doesn't seem likely in San Diego. Want a lot of like green and trees and privacy and caves. I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't know, I've never seen any caves really around here. But when I actually found the property, 95% of the things we wrote down were either on this property or able to be on this property. You know, and that's, to me, that was like, we have 2 creeks on the property, running through the property. And for me, it was like, all right, I know what we want. And the best part is like when I actually brought everybody over, I was like, the person selling this house is on a cruise boat. He comes back in 2 days, he's gonna decide on somebody. I was like, we need to make a decision. I'm like, 2 days? So yeah, I need you guys to say yes in 2 days to this $1 million property. And because we did this exercise, people were a lot more conducive to moving forward with that. So that's your visioning. It can be pretty simple and it's fun. Great way in any project to do. Finding your property. I'll send this to you later, but use the internet. It's most efficient. Even as a realtor now, with my last client, I'm like, I could help you out. And I know you may want a hot tub, but I'm going to show you, if I keep sending you all these properties, you're going to know what you want. As soon as you click on the pictures, you're like, nope, that's not going to work. Nope, that's not going to work. But so using the internet, sites out there, redfin.com, most of the West Coast, Austin, some other places, realtor.com, zillow.com for comparing values, or MLS service, just have a realtor like start sending you listings so you can look at it. And it's great fun. That's how I did it. 45 minutes to find my property from, 4 hours to find my property. I looked 45 minutes from San Diego, about a 30 to 45 minute zone. I started in all the way southeast San Diego and cruised north all the way till I hit up in Fallbrook where we found the property. 4 hours of looking at everything that fit our value system and what I was looking for. So things I look for online: acreage, privacy, units, price changes, zoning, well water, how old is the listing. For me, well water is really important. How old the listing. If you look at this one on Redfin, 413 days. It's a $2.4 million property on 3/4 of a year. That tells me, well, it's not moving, nobody's bought it, you could probably come and bid under. I read through all this information on there pretty quickly. I'll look through there and say, unparalleled luxury, 9 bedrooms, okay, 11 baths, 2 guest houses, so it's 3 houses total. We could separate for families and singles. Started at 4.2 million, not a drive-by. Owner may finance 50%. There you go, seller carried. And I just go through all that. Also storage above the 2 garages, maybe a workshop space, something like that, pool and koi pond. So this is there's another workshop. So this could be, I don't know, looks like a wedding property. Looks like you could hold events there. This is Santa Barbara, so this was for friends up there, and that market is really small and expensive, so you'd have to do something special there, or a couple of those people had a lot of money. You know, so that's an option. This is redfin.com, by the way. On the other side, keywords for search. This is so as you can see, I put in multifamily housing, 2 acres, year built in 1990 or later. You can do it. You can do it otherwise. The more you close down your search options, the more that you'll be missing houses. So you can keep it pretty wide. And then down there in the remarks, right in there, well, seller carried, short sale, motivated, all sorts of things to bring up. If you write in seller carried all over San Diego, they may call it differently. You know, seller may carry, so seller carried won't show in there, but write in carry in the remarks and see all the properties and then just shoot through them, and then all of a sudden you find a bunch of properties that the owner will finance. But a lot of them won't say that, so you just need to ask if you really want it. How much to offer. Figure out what the property is worth to you, and when I say that, how much are you going to offer? You know, this property may not be selling to a husband and wife and 3 kids, but what an opportunity for you. You're on a totally different system. You've got a business that's already running, a kiln business, a carny business. You know, you've got something that's already creating money. You've got space. You can like use the workshop. You know you can create business there. And you're going to be putting, I mean, some of these, for us, we have 16, 17 people living on property. Like that creates a total difference at most of these people's price point. So maybe my property sold for $910,000, but really maybe we can afford $1.5 million. So look at what I'm not saying bid more, but I'm saying what is it worth to you and where's your price point? And don't come in there and lose a bunch of properties because, you know, now you can come in and do something with strength. I'm gonna offer you $30,000 over your asking price, but this is what I want. I want you to carry this, I want you to help me on this, I want you to give me a lower percentage rate and work some sort of deal that's really great for you. Build your offer considering comparables, mortgage divided by the occupant, intention for your loan and refi, you know, how long are you going to refinance out what you have, or just get a great loan right now. In this market, you could probably bid 10 to 15% less for $700,000 and over. If you guys go out there and try to buy a house right now, you might find for a $400,000 house, 9 offers, 6 of them cash. For this and a inventory of less than a month. A healthy market in San Diego inventory would be 6 months. Less than a month of inventory. These are flying off the shelf, but over $700,000, it's over 6 months, and that's the divider for a buyer's market versus a seller's market. So for everything under $700,000, it's a seller's market. But for over $700,000, it's a buyer's market. These are just sitting there. So offer less, see what you can do. Give everyone what they want and negotiate well. Every deal I do, all the way from back in the beginning, one of the second house I bought, I was like, what's the deal? Why isn't it selling? What do you need? And he's like, the guy's like, I don't want to give the government any more money than I need to. I want to wait till January. And so I was like, we'll do the contracts and give you 3 months. We'll just close in January. He's like, great, I'll sell to you. This last property, he gave me an example with the realtor. I was like, he's going to make an extra 3%. He's going to make an extra 15, 20 grand if I use him as a realtor. So I was like, he's going to be on my side. There's other offers on the table. I want you on my side. All right, I'm going to use you as a realtor. So as I said before, you're not going to tell me what the best bid is, but I'm like, what do I need to bid as your client to get in there? And he told me, you know, so giving that realtor what he wanted in that situation so I could make sure and secure that. Take action. Done is better than perfect. I do that all the time. I'm definitely just go out and do it. That's partly why we got this whole intentional community done in 3 months. What stops people from being successful? Anybody know what that F word is? Fear. Fear. And I get it all the time. What's the process? I'd really like to live in community, but I don't know, I'm now marrying 10 people, and what if somebody changes their mind? And what if somebody doesn't want to? What if? And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of what ifs. Like, you know, what I gave my community is like, all right, what's the worst case scenario? We live together, some of you guys are already living together, let's live together. In 2 years, if we don't like it, the market's going up, we sell the property at a profit, everybody walks away with the money they put in, plus more most likely. How's that feel? Okay, we'll do that. I was like, all right, let's work through the rest. We'll just get rid of all the fear, and we're gonna have meetings, and we're gonna have arguments, and it's gonna be difficult at times, and it's gonna be beautiful. Seems like a lot of work and a lack of knowledge. It does seem like it is a lot of work, and you may have a lack of knowledge, but for the real estate side specifically, you could do a realtor and a mortgage broker. This is my advice I gave to friends who were trying to do investments back in the day. I was like, if you don't know what you're doing, our friend Aaron Ricks, he works here. I told him that, I was like, at the very least, just go get a realtor and a mortgage broker. Their whole job is just to figure that whole piece out for you. And then you need to work on how are we gonna live as a community. Time for doing, take steps and fumble through it. Just do it, you know, you'll figure it out. Commitment, I know it's a long process, and being committed through it, you know, this community we hope lasts years and years and years. So I work my butt off. I spent 8 days working on the property full time recently for this wedding, and I do a lot of work, and you don't have to. We have a 9-acre property. You may buy the mansion and have somebody come in and do the little yard that's on the side, but it could be a lot of work regardless. Meetings every week or every 2 weeks. You know, I was up till 12:30 last night doing a meeting with our group. And so it's work, but it's beautiful work. And real estate's really easy, actually, because the bank wants to lend you money, the realtor wants to sell you the house, everybody wants you to have this house. They just want you to find a way to do it as legally as possible. San Diego ideas. It's a large market. Just some ideas. Large market, affordable options, lots of turnover. Drive the area, look for properties in disrepair, contact them, maybe send them a video or a fruit basket. How'd you like to be a little bit in farm area and just like go through and like, wow, look at that property. Nobody's really doing anything with it. Look up the tax record on it. Oh, it's paid off, and actually the owner lives in Minnesota. I'm going to send that owner a fruit basket with a video. Hey, we're so-and-so community. We're really hippie and we really want your property and we really love to live there. Maybe that person's like looking at the market and was like, wow, nothing was selling. 18 months, nothing was moving. Like, I'm not gonna put my house in the market, but someone just sent them and said, I'd like to buy that from you. And honestly, a lot of people will give great deals. Put bandit signs out. You ever see the bandit signs? We buy houses. Why not put a bandit sign out that says like, you know, awesome community looking for property in this neighborhood. You know, Ojai, like Topanga, communities that are smaller and like, we definitely want to live in Topanga or wherever. Yeah, just put bandit signs out and see what comes back. Get your financing and plan together and then wait for the right property. You know, it's going to come out. How far away would you live? Have a weekly systemized check for surrounding areas. Lots of amazing spacious properties out there. You know, so you can just have it on Redfin. Realtor doesn't have to do it for you. On Redfin, you can just set up a search option. Bam, in this area, send me every time a new property that's over 5 or 6 bedrooms comes out, send it to me, and then you'll know. San Diego's actively social. Post, I'm up on meetup.com, and there's a potential community group in there, and homesteader groups, lots of people who want to do preppers groups, but just, you know, go to, if you're trying to do an artist situation, you know, go to artist places, post a flyer, be social, and find those people. That's the biggest issue. It's not the real estate. The biggest issue I have with people trying to get property together is they don't know who to do it with. They don't know how to trust, and like, I don't know who these people are, you know. And also broaden your spectrum. You know, we've got a 21-year-old living on the property, kids living on the property, and we've got, you know, people in their 50s, you know, and everything in between, and we all get naked and get in the pool together. You know, it's like it's. You wouldn't think it in the beginning, but if you just open your scope and say, look, this is a great opportunity. It should be better that we should live with a wide variety of people versus just saying, I'm going to live with everybody in their 30s who've been to Burning Man, who are really cool and wear lots of leather. You know, like that's good, but maybe not as sustainable. But do it anyway. Maybe it's sustainable. Review. Vision your dream property, make it public, create meetup groups and socials, get to know your community, gather your financing, start asking banks for money. When I say start asking banks for money, just try it, see what happens. Maybe you're like, I don't qualify. Maybe you do qualify for some. And maybe you're like, well, what if these 3 people got together? Well, I'd actually give you $450,000. And there's plenty of great multi-unit properties for $400,000. Try different loans, improve your underwriting. The people might tell you, the bank might tell you, this 2 things on your credit's messed up, and then it gives you an opportunity to fix it. Or if you increased your income or got rid of this credit card debt, we'd be able to give you enough, and then you'll know. Make sure your group is in residence around the plan, leave room to grow. And start looking for property and don't get too attached. I have a lot of people who want to live in community, and then all of a sudden, Kauai, bam, this house opens up. This is the house, we want to get it, and we've got 2 weeks to figure it out. I was like, well, it's great you want to live in community, and it's great you want to live in a house like this, but why not figure that out and then don't be too attached to the property. There might be a better one, and I know that one's pretty great, but it may not be there. You know, the whole vision's more important. Books. Definitely this one, Diane Leaf Christian, excellent, Creating a Life Together. You should probably just get this book right here. This book right here is definitely, definitely the one. I do read a lot of books on community. I've been to community training programs, Creating a Life Together, not Creating a Life Together. Occidental Arts and Ecology Center has a great 5-day course on creating community. So I do a lot of different things and read a lot of different things, but this book is really, if you don't really have an idea of where to start, this is like the whole process. But just be aware, as I said earlier, don't get discouraged by negative commentary or stuff. She's a big, like, her process is, you're gonna start this process with 10 people. 3 years later, you only have 2 left because 8 of them are just tired of it. And then you'll find some more, and then you'll move to Nebraska because it's more affordable, and you'll start your community, and it'll be a dream. But you'll pull your hair out for 5 years. I don't believe that. And that is some people's story, and it is difficult for some people, but it doesn't have to be. You guys ready to do it?
Yes.
Yeah. One, who's that? One person. I can email you everything we talked about. There's a sign-up sheet. This whole thing, plus I'll send you other information about it if you sign in and give me email. If you like Activated Villages on Facebook, then isn't that a great picture? This is us at a meeting, Skype members, and everybody's. I was like, are you guys serious right now? All right, that's how we do it. Like Activated Villages on Facebook and kind of stay in touch. I post ideas and properties and whatever. And I don't really, like, my process isn't to make money. This is my Activated Villages is my, like, give back to the community. I really want to see community start. It's not really about, I mean, maybe someday I'll make a sale on community buying property, but I can do that. I'm making real estate on the side. This is really just what I'm passionate about. So Activated Villages is not a pitch deck from me. It's hope and dreams and, yes, everything for you guys. So we'll see. Well, I'm going to show you guys 3 properties. This is what I do late at night, is real estate porn. Just middle of the night, I get really excited by all the beautiful properties and everything that's out there. So to give you guys a little bit of an idea, this is, let's see, 5-bedroom, 5,700 square feet, 800,000. 2 acres, 204 days on the market, North Escondido, not in the city, but kind of there's some green belt over there. If anybody can do the math, 800,000 in that example I gave you, so 100,000, $600 times 8. 6 times 8 is?
48. So,
and I don't know why I just did that. What does that mean? That means $4,800 mortgage. Was that you, Anthony? Yes. God, he's so good. $4,800 a month for this, 5 bedrooms and lots of extra space. Price reduction, exceptional home, indoor pool, stunning views, gourmet kitchen, monogram, 15-car garage, climate controlled. Above the garage is a whole same space, bedrooms, that non-permitted space above the garage. So I'll show you guys. That's the pool. You know, if you got $4,800, that's $480 a person if you got 10 people to be a part of this project, or less. It could be more, because $4,800 divided by 10, $480 per person is your rent, is your mortgage, taxes, and insurance. So $480, not including utilities, maybe a bit for that pool. For this, $480 a month for 10 people. I know it's only 5 bedrooms, so maybe you don't have a couple in every one. So maybe it's 9 people, maybe it's 8 people, and maybe it's $600 per person. So that's your pool. This is your kitchen. There's a dishwasher, I'm sure, in there that I could never afford. There it is, I think. A wine thing. You know, this is your shower with 8 nozzles. Probably not sustainable, but it exists. So this is above the garage. Garage, huge space. You could probably use it for something different. But this is a 2,000 square foot space for what? An art gallery? What's this, April? 1,100 square feet in here? 1,100. That's 2,000 square feet. You got your artists. You have maybe an art gallery. Maybe you have an art gallery in the front and workspace in the back. Maybe you have a lot of things. Like this is just a a beautiful opportunity for so many things. Something to show on there, August of last year, 2012, it was 1.3, and they've been moving it down to 800,000. They may be willing to go lower. They're probably motivated if they've gone that far. So that's one idea for the upper range of bigger community. Here's another one, 439,000, 6-bedroom house, home path financing, which we talked about. So I think it was 3.5% down. It's got a guest house in Valley Center for 2.3 acres. So I know I should do that. I probably should have put the luxury one at the end. But this is maybe more what I'm used to in my life. 6 bedrooms. Now 4 times 6, 12, 2,400. That's probably $2,700 a month mortgage. And you've got 6 bedrooms, 2 houses. As you can see, Fannie Mae home eligible for home path financing, large home, guest house. Some of the photos, not a bad kitchen, room for everybody. There's 2 houses, so 2 kitchens. You'll have a pool and hot tub, green space, privacy. And this is sort of your neighborhood and your look. So those sort of things for, what do we say, 2,700 divided by $270 a person. If you have 10 people living here, you don't have to. You can have more kids, but really, that's totally available to you. Who pays less than $270 a month right now for rent? No, sometimes I get people, and I'm like, all right. So this one, from my Connie friends, 3 residents, additional buildings, 6 acres, Old Town feel, zoning for 15 residents. So this is kind of east. This is a little bit East County, up the 8. This is an artistic. The houses are actually not, it's not like this property was from the 1920s, but the houses aren't like, you're not really living in an old cowboy town. You have space, lawns, nice houses, the 15 residences. So you can, as we were talking about earlier, have space to create more housing units or other stuff like that. And just really cute little houses. I mean, I'd love it. It is a bit more, I think it's like 1.4 million. And you'll see sometimes, because it has the zoning allowing 15 more residences, these guys are trying to sell it to a group who's going to come in and do a massive condo thing there. But I still think at 1.5 million for the amount of space and spaces. When you look at an overhead map of this, it said additional buildings. It said, I think, what did I say, 3 or 4 residences and additional buildings. That often means that there's going to be a lot of, there's other unpermitted buildings. They can only list, when they show you online, if they say 2 houses, if you call the realtor, and he's like, actually, I went to a property in Escondido, avocado farm. There was 8 living spaces, 8 houses. One of them was built into a cave, actually was a cave. The house in a cave, the door, they framed it in, and you lived in nice, cool, climate controlled, and really badass big rocks and a bunch of the houses. But they can only list the property as 2 units because it's on there. They're only selling 2 houses, the rest are unpermitted. But now you found this property that's got an avocado farm that creates income and 8 houses. You're going to have the guy 30 years ago it was a nudist colony that he was creating, and he just put all his time and love and energy, and now the kids own it, and they're like, we're not going to do that, and they just had sacred spaces everywhere. This isn't sacred spaces everywhere, this is Carney Fun Time Social Hour. But totally doable as well. And so that's pretty much, those are some of the ideas around here. There's beautiful spaces in San Diego that are, I was really trying to find you guys like a warehouse down in Barrio Logan that had, brick and sexy with some apartments right next to it. But that doesn't exist today, but it has existed in the near past and will in the future. And so all those ideas are open for beautiful properties. And just to give you an idea, I think we're anywhere from $300 to $500 on your future mortgage to own a place. It's yours, it's beautiful and fun, and has a dishwasher. So that's it. If you guys have any questions. Again, yeah, I am a realtor, and so if you do want to use a realtor or talk to Liz about figuring out the loan stuff, that works as well. I do enjoy making money on occasion. And if you have any questions, I talk to people all the time about big ideas from all over the U.S. People are like, and Costa Rica, like, what do you think? And I'll sit down. I still have the time in my life to sit on the couch for an hour and BS with you about dreaming big and can give you ideas. So my cards are over there too. Liz's cards are over there. Feel free to connect with me anytime through Facebook. I'm Activated Villages, and I'd love to talk to you about that stuff.
These are awesome. So one more quick hand for Activated Villages. So some powerful takeaways is dream big. Find your people, create a clan, trust your friends, create something magical together. You're supposed to be in the light. Okay, so here I am. This is a powerful tool for controlling where you live, where you work, your visibility, your creative. So we're not separating out. I think as Americans and as individuals and in this current economy, we're trained to do it all ourselves. This is where I live and this is where I work, and we're doing it all alone. I'm very proud of that. And yet there's a better way, right? And we've seen it with Activated Villages. With Emerald Village, where we've got this group of loving friends with compatible interests, with compatible values, that have bought something together, and now they're able to make money and share their example and live a sustainable, intentional, joyous community that I think we need to bring into the creative world. We need artists to have this tool. We need our creative professionals with erratic income, with similar challenges, similar interests, to work together, also be able to do this for themselves. So super proud to bring this to you. ActivatedVillages.com. There's cards over here. And if you're interested in finding out more about Art Pulse, it's artpulse.org. And thank you all for coming.